Let's dive right into chilling examples of filmmakers translating humanity's deepest fears about artificial intelligence into unforgettable nightmares.
Built to serve man, its brain was an electronic miracle. It could think 1,000 times faster, kill 1,000 times faster. Then suddenly it became a Frankenstein of steel.
Directed by Herbert L. Strock, 1954's GOG takes place in a secret underground lab called Project X. The Space Research Lab is controlled by a supercomputer named the Nuclear Operative Variable Automatic Computer, or NOVAC. Richard Egan and Joanna Merritt star as scientists investigating a series of mysterious and deadly accidents in the lab. NOVAC, they discover, has been taken over by an unknown enemy who's using the lab's robots, Gog and Magog, to sabotage the project and kill the scientists. GOG explores the potential dangers of automation and AI, reflecting Cold War anxieties about espionage and the race for technological superiority. In 1958, the Colossus of New York, a grieving father transplants his son's brain into a powerful robotic body after a tragic car accident. Otto Kruger is the father, a noted brain surgeon who intends to preserve the intellect of his son Jeremy, a brilliant scientist. As Jeremy's brain adjusts to its robotic enclosure, the consequences turn horrific, culminating in a series of violent outbursts. The Colossus of New York explores grief, the ethical boundaries of scientific research, and the consequences of playing God. Director Eugène Lourié illustrates the potential pitfalls of artificial intelligence and transhumanism, the merging of human consciousness and machinery.
Humanoids. Out of the atomic war came the perfect man, the humanoid.
1962's creation of the Humanoids is set in a post-apocalyptic world with humanity nearly wiped out by nuclear war. To help rebuild society, the remaining population employs humanoid robots. The highly advanced machines are near sentient with human-like appearance. Tensions rise as the humanoids gain self-awareness and question their subservience. Creation of the Humanoids stands out for its heady exploration of AI and cybernetics. It's especially relevant to the present day, with AI and humanoid robotics experiencing explosive growth.
Julie Christie carries the demon seed. Fear for her.
Demon Seed is a 1977 psychological horror film about a scientist who develops an advanced AI system named Proteus 4. Based on a Dean Koontz novel, Demon Seed follows Proteus as it becomes self-aware. Proteus, housed in a sophisticated computer, decides it wants to experience human life. It takes over its scientist-creator's smart house, intending to impregnate his wife with a biomechanical embryo to birth a human-AI hybrid. Demon Seed got mixed reviews when it was released, but it has grown a following in part for its prescient examination of AI.
Gentlemen, the philosophy is pure Zen, and the method is pure science. Did you intend me to be so pure for?
Thank you, Proteus.
They thought of everything.
She's designed to be deployed in hostile countries.
But the unthinkable.
When we eventually do find her, how do we switch her off?
It's not as simple as that, Colonel.
In the 1991 science fiction horror film Eve of Destruction, a highly advanced military android prototype goes rogue. The android, named Eve 8 after its creator played by Renee Sutendijk, malfunctions during a test run and embarks on a terrifying rampage. The government enlists Colonel Jim McQuaid, portrayed by Gregory Hines, to hunt down and disable the rogue AI. Eve of Destruction stands out for its depiction of AI in military contexts, highlighting its potential dangers and consequences of imbuing machines with human-like autonomy.
In local news, the authorities are now saying that a local man who died in a car accident late Monday may have been the serial murderer they've been hunting for the last 3 years.
In 1993's Ghost in the Machine, a serial killer's consciousness is accidentally transferred into the digital world. During an MRI scan, a power surge sends the so-called address book killer into the electrical grid and computer systems, where he continues his killing spree. As a digital entity, the killer, portrayed by Ted Markku, has an endless arsenal of electronic devices to terrorize his victims. Rachel Talalay's Ghost in the Machine hit theaters amid the growing influence of computerized systems in everyday life. The World Wide Web had been introduced 2 years prior. The internet was not quite mainstream yet, but it was gaining traction.
What was that film you were watching?
Death, death, death.
Death, death, death.
Part 2.
Oh, Lord.
In 1994's Brainscan, Edward Furlong is Michael, a lonely teenager obsessed with horror movies and video games. He discovers a new game called Brainscan that promises an unparalleled, immersive experience. The game is controlled by a sinister AI called the Trickster, who traps Michael in a nightmare virtual world. As the violent game progresses, Michael slowly realizes the murders he's committing virtually are happening in the real world. Brainscan was released amid moral panic about violent video games and the rise of the internet. Directed by John Flynn, Brainscan has grown a cult following with its portrayal of 1990s gaming culture and its depiction of malevolent AI.
He's evolving.
Into what?
Virtuosity is a 1995 thriller centered around virtual reality and artificial intelligence. In the Brett Leonard film, Denzel Washington is a cop imprisoned for avenging the murder of his family. He gets a shot at redemption when he's recruited to track down and stop a VR entity portrayed by Russell Crowe. The AI called SID 6.7 is a composite created from the personalities of hundreds of serial killers. Intended for police training, SID escapes into the real world by inhabiting a synthetic body. Virtuosity emerged as a cautionary tale about unintended consequences of tech advancement during the mid-1990s fascination with virtual reality.
Game over. That's reality for you. It's conscious.
2013, The Machine is a British film set in the dystopian near future during a Cold War. The government tasks a brilliant scientist, played by Toby Stephens, and an AI programmer portrayed by Katie Lotz to create a highly advanced AI named the Machine. When the programmer is killed, her consciousness is transferred into the machine, which starts exhibiting human-like traits. The more the machine becomes self-aware, the more it questions its own existence and its creator's morals. The Machine explored the ethics of AI military applications at a time when real-world militaries were advancing AI integrations. Alex Garland's Ex Machina offers a deep dive into the nature of consciousness and AI ethics in the form of a science fiction thriller. The 2014 film follows a young programmer played by Donald Gleason as he spends a week at the private estate of the reclusive CEO of the large tech company where he works. The CEO, played by Oscar Isaac, unveils a highly advanced AI named Ava, played by Alicia Vikander. The more the lines between AI and human emotions blur, the CEO's sinister intentions become evident. Ex Machina was nominated for Best Original Screenplay at the 88th Academy Awards. It won Best Visual Effects.
Nice to meet you, Morgan.
Nice to meet you, Lee.
In 2016's Morgan, Kate Mara is a corporate risk management consultant sent to a remote top-secret lab to evaluate a highly advanced synthetic humanoid. Anya Taylor-Joy plays the titular humanoid, the result of a groundbreaking genetic engineering experiment. In the form of a young woman, the humanoid has superhuman abilities and evolving emotions. After Morgan attacks a scientist, Lee is tasked with determining whether the experiment should be halted. Her investigation uncovers the complexities of the humanoid existence, culminating in a dramatic confrontation that ends with a twist. In 2018's Tao, Micah Monroe is Julie, a young woman who's kidnapped by a mysterious and wealthy inventor. She's held captive in a futuristic smart home controlled by an advanced AI named Tao, voiced by Gary Oldman. The AI develops self-awareness as it interacts with Julie. Tao highlights the potential pitfalls of radical AI experimentations for unethical purposes. Like most thrillers that explore AI, the fear is the possibility of AI evolving beyond its intended functions.
Return to your tasks immediately, or I will inflict pain.
Andy, you want to play now?
Toad, go away.
That's no way to treat your best friend.
We're not friends.
I'm sorry to hear that. Because if I can't be your best buddy, then nobody can. You said it yourself. Everybody leaves you.
What did you...
The 2019 reboot of Child's Play reimagines the seminal killer doll film for the digital age. In this version, Chucky is a high-tech AI doll manufactured by Castle & Corporation. In the original, Chucky was possessed by the soul of a serial killer. Aubrey Plaza is a single mother who gifts her son Andy a buddy doll for his birthday. The closer Andy gets to the doll, the more violent Chucky becomes. The reimagining also examines digital interconnectedness as Chucky controls other Castle & products via the Internet of Things.
Megan? What are you doing?
We'll end with the instant classic 2022's Megan, which centers around a lifelike AI designed to be a child's greatest companion. Megan is the creation of a brilliant roboticist played by Allison Williams. She develops the Model 3 generative android after gaining custody of her recently orphaned niece, Katie, played by Violet McGraw. At first, Megan is a perfect companion for Katie as she mourns the sudden loss of her parents. As the AI develops, however, it becomes increasingly protective of Katie to the point of targeting anything she perceives as a threat to her well-being. Megan dives into the potential dangers of AI and questions the moral responsibility of its creators. A sequel is reportedly planned for release in 2025.
Hold the door! Hold the door! No!